Good morning, Miss Gordon. How you doing? That's good.
Arriving at 6 Mount Zion on Sunday mornings. Churchgoers can depend on two things:
Good morning.
salvation
How you doing?
and a little salutation from Roland Pryor.
Hi, ladies. How y'all doing this morning?
The trustee welcomes members to a place he considers his foundation.
I done everything here.
The Baptist Church on Duval Street is a pillar in the heart of Pryor's old neighborhood, Jackson Ward.
The community need this.
It's a building with roots as strong as its founder, John Jasper.
I preach this sermon just to settle the minds of my free brethren and repeat it because friends wish to hear it. And I hope it will do honor to the Lord's word.
Jasper's legacy still inspires more than 200 years after his birth.
He developed a preaching style that was very dramatic.
The former slave founded 6 Mount Zion in a former Confederate horse stable in 1867 after the Civil War.
This is where it all began.
Church historian Benjamin Ross says Jasper's flock quickly swelled.
Oh, he could put you in heaven.
The charismatic preacher delivered fiery sermons from the pulpit, but one in particular catapulted Jasper into the spotlight.
And then, of course, in 1878, the Sun Do Move sermon came out. Well, that took Richmond by a storm.
There you are. Ain't that the movement of the sun? Bless my soul. Joshua stopped the sun, but hear the Lord make the sun walk back 10 degrees.
Jasper's controversial message echoed across the nation.
Well, it was extremely popular. Of course, it's been printed over and over and over again.
Using Bible scriptures and electrifying Jasper argued the sun revolved around the earth.
If the Lord could do things that seemed unnatural, make the sun move in the sky, make the earth square, then indeed the Lord could move in the hearts of men and change them.
Converts, critics, and the curious, both black and white, clamored to hear Jasper preach.
The General Assembly closed one day and came to 6 Mount Zion and to hear the Sun Do Move sermon.
The sermon made Jasper one of the most popular clergymen in the country.
And the media covered it after the sermon was preached. We have over 300 articles in our archive that speaks of Jasper preaching this sermon.
While the Reverend preached about moving,
blocking your blessing.
6 Mount Zion's faithful has made sure their church has always stayed put.
You know, I remember being a kid looking over the fence, looking down in the hole.
A half century after Jasper's death in 1901, wrecking balls crashed through Jackson Ward.
That's it. Half of the neighborhood disappeared.
The new Interstate 95 came barreling through in the 1950s.
Oh, hundreds of homes were torn down.
But church leaders stood their ground and fought the federal government.
In the mid-1950s, that was not an easy battle to win.
But when they did, engineers were forced to redesign a long stretch of 95, sparing 6 Mount Zion.
So many of my friends who travel up and down 95, they'll text me or call me and say, "Oh, I saw your church today."
Benjamin Ross credits perseverance and maybe a little help from above.
I would like to think that, yes, that this was some divine intervention.
Jackson Ward neighborhood was cut in two. This church was largely cut off from its own congregation.
Historian Selden Richardson, author of Built by Black, says the church remains a symbol.
In the way that the building has survived, it's a real study in perseverance and faith, I think.
This is rush hour.
Endless ribbons of traffic snake around the church day and night.
Many people will realize there must be a story there for a church to be sitting so close to the highway.
Ross says the constant hum of cars remains part of the church's lore.
We're like a landmark.
Just like the rattling old radiators.
Oh, some people think John Jasper was walking around the church, you know.
On Sundays, the din of roaring engines is drowned out by soaring voices inside.
Oh, it make me feel great to know that it's still standing there. Like I said, this only church I ever belonged to.
The church's founder may have preached the Sun Do Move high above. But in its 150th year, 6 Mount Zion remains an immovable beacon for members and drivers below.
In many ways, this is a monument to John Jasper and his legacy.
For the word of the Lord shall endure forever. And on that solid rock we stand and shall not be moved.